Hello, welcome back. Davey Sarakiera is on pole. Blender Cycle lines up alongside him to make the front row. Ultra's P3 from Toy Vento and Rabo. Mark Adelaide lining up P6 with Sebastian Campbell with Tom Leon just behind 7th and 8th. And Stolzen lines up 9th versus Theo qualifies 10th for Cable and 11th. Darren Castro gets P12 from Tucker Van Horn. Lamfong, Zygmunt, Rocket Crumbly making a return to the grid. Next TV Headley at 17th, of Livery also returning here in 18th. We have Carlos Famato, Dan Butler, Marcus Klein, and Daniel Boxarov. So here we are, Austria, the first round of the season here in 2020. And it's lights out, and away we go! And off the front row to a really good start by John Sonic, who moves up in his first place as we head in towards the first corner. He does take the lead there. And David Sarakiera drops P3 from Ultra, who's just behind, keeping his P3. That's exactly what he will want to have. Ravel on the outside, Devendao using the inside line. It's worked out for him. Yellow flags over in that middle sector. Tom Leon, 5-second penalty, damage, and into the wall. That's an awful start to his season. As versus Theo right behind him, as he'll be looking to get ahead into the first. That's nowhere near the first one, but into that corner he goes on the inside of the Red Bull and is up into P9 for AlphaTauri in their debut race. David Sarakiera though, he is up in first position by over a second. Now where did that come from? I have no clue, I did not even see that. But he is going to lead into the second lap as he has got Blender right behind him into the first corner. Sarakiera, oh wait, Ultra is out! The reigning world champion is out. Adelaide's out as well. For McLaren, there is the Ferrari. The McLaren is nowhere to be seen. But that is two retirements happening at the same time. And once again, it's just a repeat of last season. Ultra doing terribly in the first race. Like last season he finished, but this season he's out in the first race here in Austria in the double header. As the VSC is ending, VSC's in good restart if you want to try and catch Sarakiera. And there we go green. And it is a good getaway for Blender Sonic. It's an incredible getaway actually. And that is absolutely perfect as he's going to be lining up a move into turn 1 probably. As he goes 3 warnings for track limits, he needs to be extremely careful. One more violation and that is a penalty. As he's going to send it, I think, onto David Sarakiera. And he narrowly avoids the wall. It's compromised him. And he's got a penalty as well. And through Dodge Bandel goes into Heat 2. BDS fights back. He's not holding back now. As the virtual safety car is out again for Tom Leon, who makes a disastrous day even worse. When will the bad luck end for this man? When will Sebastian Campbell actually get some good luck as well? Because when Campbell's struggling, he needs some luck as well, considering he had 70 DNFs last season. If, don't get me wrong, I think that's what the number was. Here we are, VSC once again ending, and it's been a better start for Sarakiera this time. This is the restart he needed last time out. And the DHL Mercedes will continue to lead. And his rival right behind him. 5-second penalty. This is looking good for the Brazilian, who's on his charge to reclaim the title after losing out last season despite an absolute dominant lead to the championship. Now he's also got 3 warnings for track limits. So maybe he's not secure. Maybe this win is not secured for him at all. But he is flying around this track, I can say that. Of course, BDS and Sarakiera are the only guys with 10 out of 10 cars left in this race as Ultra had retired. And sorry for this lag, I really need a better phone. I really do. Sarakiera, he just needs to try and hold this lead for as long as possible. He's probably going to violate track limits again at some point, and that will be giving him a penalty. I'll go on to his time at the end of the race. BDS, so he's falling behind. He's not going to give up yet. Just because he has that penalty doesn't mean the race is over for him. As he sets a fast lap of the race, he's going to go into turn 1. He's sending it. And he's got another penalty. UK Ball, his teammate, also picks up a penalty. He's up in the P8. He's been up 3 places in this race. He's going to try and make it 4, I think, into the first corner, but he has to back out. And now it's 10 seconds of penalties for Blade of Dragon Sonic that will see him down to P6 at the moment. And you can see desperation getting into the Nigerian driver as Sarikira making his car as wide as possible. And in a situation like this, you can't blame him. But if he keeps doing that, BDS will get annoyed and probably force him out the way at some point. And he'll just take the penalty and accept it. But it looks like both of these guys are coming in the pits, and they are. This is going to be not a pit stop battle, because there's 10 seconds of penalties later on, so he must serve before he can be let out onto the track once again. And there are Sarikira passing by. And there is BDS just waiting in the pits to serve his penalty. And he's done that. He's on the mediums. No one's interrupted him in the pits. And he's going to be in some clean air. Meanwhile, Sarikira has got some guys to try and get past, as this will be crucial for him, because BDS is leaving the pit lane now. He's back out onto the track in P19. What can he do to minimize the damage? As yes, it's over 10 seconds between him and Sarikira. So for BDS, you're gonna have to hope Sarikira gets held up by Livery, who is right in front. It'll be a matter of moments really before he's caught up to the racing point and the Renault that is in front of him. Now he's 13.6 seconds off of the leader, Sebastian Camper, who hits for not for medium, for hard, and he slows up Bravo, stopping him from taking that P1. And Sarikira, there it is. I told you it was coming, and he's got the 5-second penalty for track limits. Now he's definitely going to have to be careful. BDS finally getting into traffic of his own. He's got Marcus Klein in the Sauber for company right in front. He's going to have to try and get past him as soon as possible. He's waiting for DRS. He gets DRS. He charges down the straight in towards turn 2 and 3. And he's up there into P14. That was easy work for him. But he has got people in front of him though. And there seems to be a big gap here between Ocampo and Sarikira. And it will see Sarikira still lead, even though he has that penalty. This is looking really good for him. And it looks like BDS has been losing time throughout the stint. But look at this, so speaking of losing time. And that was, for a moment, 5 people within a second of each other out in front. And Beto, he gets a penalty as well. UK will serving his 5 seconds. He's going on the hards. Will he be getting held up today? Yes, he will. As Taco Van Horn also in the pits. There through goes Marcus Klein. And there we go. Klein wearing on his mediums. He needs to be really careful. That tire degradation will make him lose a little bit of traction. Now, here we are, the race leader, Davy Sarikira, who will be coming into the pits in a few laps time to get rid of them tyres, because them tyres are not going to last the whole race. He's on a more aggressive strategy, and he was BDS back in P2 earlier, and now he's 11.9 seconds off of the lead of this race. Even though there's a 5-second penalty there for Sarikira, it's not enough for BDS to be able to take the lead. Even if it was 10 seconds, it's still not enough. In the pits comes Castro versus Theo and Racket Crumpley. We are Crumpley making his first pit stop of the season for Renault, going from mediums to mediums. So there is still a chance in this race he could get the end on that set of mediums. He would want to do that. Yellow flags though in the 3rd sector. That is a Haas car. They're taking him the wrong way around with front wing damage. An unusual place, and he's got a puncture as well to make it even worse for him. There's Volkswagen just avoiding the Haas. What incredible reaction time from him. That is absolutely epic, that. As into the pits comes a Haas driver, and he'll be waiting for his crew to get them tyres changed. Dan Butler serving his penalty. And there we go, on to some fresh old hards. And to make it even worse for him, Zygmunt still managed to get the jump, which is absolutely mind-blowing there. And there are the leaders have lapped him, with Steve Saraceno out in front. He's racing. Oh! UK ball is out, skidding across the floor, upside down. And Crumley's also out as well. He seemed to have had to park up, but more than likely it seems to have been contact with the Briton. And that there was a pretty big impact. And you can't lie about that. That was a big impact. Oh yeah, BDS has another 5-second penalty. I did not see this, but he is in P5. Olsen right behind him, a good 11 to 12 seconds back, which is impressive. But yeah, the top 5 of the guys who are the quickest, they are the ones with the quickest cars. BDS should get P4 safely. P3 is a bit of an insecurity. But it is possible for the Briton to try and go for 3rd place in this Grand Prix. Dave Saraceno continue to drive them worn soft tyres to their limits. Now, he's wanting to stay out for as long as possible, I imagine. He's got a good lead right now. And if he could just simply stay out in front for as long as possible on that tyre and pit and still be out in 1st, he will have this race right in the bag. Unless something happens. And we all know what that something could be. No need to explain it. Eduardo on P13 doing bits for Williams. Rocket Williams Racing. Of course, Eduardo's got some upgrades. Bogdanov sacrificing the car once again. True sportsmanship from him. And he is there to try and pick up points for Williams after they had an awful season last hour. Same thing for Haas, as into the pit lane comes Saraceno, clearly unable to handle the lack of grip within their tyres. Now he's there onto medium tyres. Now what BDS wants is a virtual safety car, but not at this time. Devon Butler out of the race. What BDS would have wanted was a virtual safety car towards the end of the lap, but this is just helping Saraceno. And yeah, that is half a pit stop for free, which the Mercedes team will be absolutely loving right now. Sebastian Capo in 1st place from Revo de Bandel on BDS. So yeah, these guys for desperately needing another VSC to come out ASAP, but more towards the end of the lap so they can actually get the full pit stop for free, which is a pretty rare occurrence. Revo will be trying to hold on to P2. He knows the Mercedes behind will be trying to push. Same with the dragon behind that Mercedes. He's got 2 guys to defend from, and Demando makes easy work of the Italian. As in the pits comes all 3 of them. All 3 diving into the pit lane at once. Now this is a true pit lane battle. Now Demando, he's not going to be getting any form of advantage. Now it's Revo versus BDS here. BDS coming out of his pit box, and he jumps Revo, who has to slow down. And Saraceno gets another warning, but his win is looking pretty secure right now. Now to the next guy, which is in fact BDS in this case. It is around like 15 seconds. 15 seconds for the Brazilian, and that is mental. Now, he's had the strategy perfectly timed. So the only way anyone behind him could win is if he crashed. Now here we go. We're entering the 14th lap of the race with 4 laps to go now. Race leader Sebastian Campo will want to try and win this. However, Saraceno is 17.6 seconds back, and he sets the fast lap of the race of a 54. But there's a penalty! He does get a penalty, in fact. And this here, could it be the win taken away from him? Or is he going to just drive them tyres until they can't drive no more? And will he be able to do it? Can he take the win away from the Filipino driver who's leading the way with an underpowered car versus an overpowered car? As BDS picks up another penalty to add to his name, and he needs to car through the traffic. Raybo's right on him, unable to get through the window. And there we go, BDS into P8. Raybo just takes P9, and Castro dropping the P8, and it will soon be P9 once again, as I've mentioned P9 again. Benedetto through into P9. P9 seems to be a common thing to talk about. 3 more laps to go. Ocampo is losing a lot of time right now out in front. The gap, 10 seconds. As all of this traffic is really hindering the performance of some of these front-running teams and drivers. As DRS enabled for Blade Sonic, Thierry Headley does not have the luxury of the DRS, and he is overtaken into turn 3. BDS enabling DRS once again, with Taco Van Horn sitting right in front of him, and he's going to have to let him by. And there we go, through into P4. That is BDS. Eduardo in the pits for a second time. Unfortunately for him, we cannot do anything good for the Williams team today. But McLaren, they have got a driver in P3 at the moment. It's lap 16 out of 17. And is the one stop really going to be the winning strategy? Who knows? The gap, though, is only 6.4 seconds. Sergio is going to have to really push this car. And if he can't do that, he is not going to be winning today. But we'll have to see what happens, as he is almost clear of the traffic. He has just got that one Renault there to clear, and that is Lam Fong, who's just moved there for this season. He'll see Sergio right in the wing mirrors as he heads down the straight, and he's actually going to be quicker than the leaders on that soft tyre. But here we are, the final lap of the race, 5 seconds between the top two. Both of them are fast second penalties, so they are void in this case. And into turn 3, there we go. Ocampo's managed to nail that corner. Sergio still charging, and he can see both Fong and Ocampo right in the distance. This race, though, it is not over until it's won. But who will it be won by? As 10 laps of age for Ocampo, 5 laps for Sergio on completely different tyres, completely different strategy. The one stop seems to have worked versus the 2 stop, but we can't say anything until it ends. But I think it's secure now. Round the final corner, Sebastian Ocampo wins the opening round in the season. And he wins the Austrian GP. Sergio will get P2. Now BDS, despite his best efforts, he's not going to catch the McLaren. McLaren are back. Jens and Olsen will get the podium. It's P3 for McLaren. Well done to them. BDS will get P4, but it's not going to stay like that. As across the line, Dementel gets P5. Ravo just misses out on the free position. Dementel's P4 from Legend Sonic. Then Headley, he's just going to beat these guys. There's a lot of people lap. Fong, Zigmund, Eduardo, Bogsar, they're all lap. Liver's going to get P11, but it's actually going to be higher. It's going to be P9 in the end of it. Klein will get P12. Butler, Crumpley, UK Volt, Tom Leon, Adelaide, and Ultra all out of this race. What a crazy, crazy race we've had, though. Absolutely fantastic. Just wow. And so for that, Sebastian Ocampo, race winner. It's back-to-back wins for him. He won the final round of last season, and he's won the first round of this season. Incredible performance from him. And Sergio will get P2. Dominic Mandel rounds off the podium. Wait. Oh, Olsen losing the podium for McLaren. Oh, I feel bad for what I was saying now about them. But with that, we're gonna have the Filipino national anthem on. Let's start it. And so with that, Ocampo wins the race from Cerqueiro, Demandel, and Olsen, who just lost out on that podium, which I didn't even realise. BDS will get P5 from Revo and Thierry Headley, Tackman Horn PA from Livery and Versio, who rounds off the points. Failing the score points today was Castro, Klein, Fong Ziguin, Eduardo, and Boxaro. Butler, Company, UK, Voltona, and Boxelling and Ultra, all failing to finish the race. And with that, the first round in Austria is complete. We'll see you next time in Styria, same track by the way, when F1 Classic returns.